right, we will move forward with public comments. Each speaker has 2 minutes each. 2 minutes each, excuse me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Charlie Jameson, taxpayer. Just 3 questions. First of all, what specific Ball State project has stalled? Jeff, you mentioned that, and I wasn't sure. There's a lot going on at Ball State. What project has stalled specifically?
I don't know. I'm at liberty to say. Part of the development up there. I mean, there's some phases. So, yeah.
We're not at liberty to say. Okay.
I don't know that I am. So I'm going to err on the side of not.
Okay. Number 2, the old YMCA development. I have not heard anything, and I drive by there almost daily. I haven't seen anything going on. What's going on? And is that not the same crew that's going to be working on that, that's working on the townhomes on Walnut?
No.
No, different crew? Okay. So what's going on with the old YM would be my question.
Do you want to answer during your public comment time or during the commissioner's comments time? I don't want to take your time if you would like to ask a different question then.
If one of the commissioners will ask, I'll be glad to wait till then.
Okay.
And number 3, a comment about Tilpon. And you know, I don't want to nitpick, and I don't want to misstate or misunderstand, but I think the comment was made that we've helped financially, but it's not ours. I believe that's what I heard. If we helped financially, being the City of Muncie or the MRC specifically, that's taxpayer dollars, and it is ours. And we need to keep up on what's happening. We just don't wash our hands of it. I know I've said this about other projects multiple times, but you get my point. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are not doing the construction at the tow pond. We have provided financial support. I don't have a mower. I'm not going out there. I'm not pulling out the plants that need to be removed from there. I'm not digging a trench. We have handed that off. The city engineer is overseeing that. There's not a good use of time for me to walk out there and watch people do construction. We've entrusted them to do that. When you contribute things, I'm sure that you don't go out to every charity that you donate money to and make sure that you're looking over their shoulder every day. So, I mean, this is just how it works. And that's a disingenuous commentary. We are not managing that project. We just don't.
Before we move forward, we are still in public comment. I want to make sure there's no one else that had public comment today. Was there anybody else? Seeing none. Okay. We'll move on from public comment into commissioner comments, or Jeff, if you'd like to give commentary as well. I welcome that. Is that all you had on Tilpon? Do you have more?
Yes.
Okay. The only update I have in response to the question about the Y development is that he was working on engineering on the inside of the building. Is that correct, Jeff? Versus the outside. He also, if we'll recall, in the agreement we made with him, he's responsible not for the towns on Walnut, but the property over by the canal. That's where he's going to build his townhome type plan, whatever that was. And I believe his intentions were to get that done first before he moved over to finish out the Y, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't think there's anything else on that, but I know he did have active engineering being worked on the inside of the old Y. Last we talked to him, that's probably been the last month, I would say.
And there's an element and often a misunderstanding. We don't control property that we don't control. So, I mean, we don't, and if things, if I've had people say, hey, we don't want to buy this because we don't want to control it. Can you fix that down there? We don't own that. So the same thing applies. If we don't own it, we don't control it. And no, we do have, and there are some performance things in there, and they'll have to do it, or it'll end up being done by somebody else. But we aren't managing the construction of those. And I know he met with the city, not the city engineer, with the building commissioner to get whatever he needed, authorization, or whatever format that's in, to start doing some light demo inside, which was going to expose the structural stuff so he could take a look at and work through the engineering on that. And I think the pool was giving them a bit of a piss.
Yeah.
He's here often.
Yeah.
I mean, we see him usually every time he's in town,
Yeah.
and he's here often
Yeah.
doing whatever he does to
Right.
do his work.
Right.
But your question about the 2 companies, they both kind of came on the scene about the same time.
That's true.
Crew is one, Crew CRU, which is a North Walnut, 3 local guys, two local guys, young guys that have that company. True, TRU, is Sean that owns the Y from Texas, I think,
Colorado.
wherever. Yeah, so TRU and CRU. It took me a while to get them because they both came on the scene at the same time. So 2 different
If
companies.
I recall, I think they even both bid on the Y.
Yeah.
Or something similar
Yeah.
at one point. So that adds to the confusion. Any further commentary from the commissioners today?
I've got a couple of comments.
ahead.
When it comes to the Y and the Tilpon, you know, if it wasn't for the MRC's participation, those projects wouldn't necessarily be happening. So, you know, to say initially when Mr. Howe was talking during the updates, it was, we've helped with grant writing and such, but in essence, we have provided funding. So there is no project that the city does or the MRC does where they go out and shovel themselves and do the actual project. We enable things through sustenance of money. So it is our projects. So in the sense of Till Pond and the YMCA, I think updates are adequate. And the idea that, you know, it's not ours, so that isn't really important. I don't think that's true. I think an update is good. I think the public deserves it. That's public treasury going into those projects. The second thing is just a recommendation. I wouldn't bring up that something is stalled with the Ball State project if we can't further talk about it, because it's just a provocative statement at that point and leads for more questions. I just wouldn't put myself in that position if I were the director of the MRC, because there's no reason. It just provokes questions that can't be answered because you evidenced confidentiality. So just a suggestion that it gets us wondering and gets us asking questions, but there's nowhere to go on that. Just
But
a
at the
suggestion.
same time, if it's not mentioned, then the public's going to ask. So
Well, they'll ask eventually, but I would just suggest that if you're going to bring something up, that you have something that you can actually share that sates the public's inquisitivity.
You do it your way.
That's fine. It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion. I mean, I thought it was a very good question by Ms. James.
Is there any further discussion by the commissioners this morning? Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned. See you next month. Thank you so much.